Now, as we get closer and closer to free agency, I understand that many of us Cowboys fans are a bit unenthusiastic when it comes to who we think the Cowboys will bring in. And this is no surprise. I would say since 2013, the Cowboys have been operating differently when it comes to free agency. And it's been something that's caused the team to really be unable to get to that next level in terms of being a consistent playoff team. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about Stephen Jones and more specifically the reason why I believe Stephen Jones has been really a liability when it comes to the free agency game. And I'll go in detail. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, we haven't gotten a big highlighted free agent, whatever. I'll get into that. So before I go any further, if you guys could, by all means, leave a like on this video. It helps the channel out a lot in the algorithm, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, I recommend you subscribe. About 93% of you guys watching are not subscribed, so I recommend you do so for more Cowboys content like this. And more importantly, hit that notification bell, because by hitting that notification bell, you get notified once I post new content. Now, with that out of the way, Stephen Jones, before I would say 2016 or hell, even 2015, if I can recollect properly, he has not, he was kind of more or less heralded as the savior for the Dallas Cowboys. This is a guy, he's been drafting good, he's not spending so much in free agency, the Cowboys are paying their guy. It was kind of a facade that we thought Stephen Jones was the next, the saving grace for the Cowboys. And unfortunately, I don't believe Stephen Jones is going to be our savior. Rather, I think he is going to be a huge detriment to this franchise going forward. I hope I'm wrong. But the reason I'm saying that is because it's not that the drafting is the issue. Well, there are some picks that were, you'll miss, but hear me out. With Stephen Jones, I would say since 2013, the Dallas Cowboys have been operating under his new Cowboy way, which is basically we draft players, we try to pay those players, but more specifically, we want them to take contracts that we think they're worth, because I don't want to pay them market value, and if we lose them, oh well. And then we go cheap in free agency. The problem with that is that you need to hit every single draft pick in order to go cheap in free agency. Many of us thought, well, the Patriots don't spend a whole lot in free agency, this, that, and the third. But the problem is that it's not about spending a lot of money. It's about making the right moves to help your team get better. So, for example, if there is a solid quality defensive tackle out in free agency, you have to go get him so that you can make sure that you plug up the holes on this team, so that you don't go into the draft saying, okay, I have all these needs I have to address and I don't know which one to go with. So then you can actually be flexible and take the best player available. That's usually what I would imagine would be a successful franchise. I understand that not every signing is going to work, and I know the Cowboys' last big contract in terms of a free agent coming to this team was Brandon Carr, and while it didn't work out for the money we gave him at the time, the thing is that Jerry, what makes it weird, okay, is that we are going to have a mix of, we've had both experiences. I know Jerry, post Jimmy Johnson, was extremely aggressive, trading all of his draft picks, signing as many players as, going after those marquee guys to, more or less for brand's sake, but more specifically, it's just, I need to improve the team, right? And the problem is that his son is extremely conservative when it comes to spending. fact, I believe in the 1995 America's Game, basically the documentary regarding Super Bowl 30, the Cowboys, when they were trying to go after Deion Sanders, Stephen Jones initially did not, because he was with the Cowboys at the time. I mean, obviously because of his father. He really didn't want to sign Deion Sanders because, the cap would be ruined. And when I kind of went back and watched that, I'm like, this is a reoccurring theme. Stephen Jones is all about the cap. Okay, the problem is that you can say, I want my precious cap space, but you're not using it. The Dallas Cowboys, I believe, are in the top 5, I think. I know they're in the top 10, but I think they're in the top 5 or hell, the top 3 when it comes to overlay cap, meaning like cap money you didn't spend. And so my thing is I'm not saying you have to sign every guy. I'm not saying you have to let every guy go. What I'm trying to get at, and I want to hammer this point in this video, is that Stephen Jones needs to open up the wallet and get this team free agent. And more specifically, pay your fucking quarterback. I'm sorry, excuse my French, but no. It's just, you need to get this thing done. I hate this nonsense in which Stephen Jones tries to play this game where it's like, we're just trying to get everybody under the cap, and, the cap this, the cap. I don't give a damn about the cap, because ultimately that strategy has done nothing to get this team consistently into the playoff picture, okay? The only reason that this team is still afloat is because you drafted so damn well. You're lucky you're in this position. God forbid the Cowboys made serious mistakes. I mean, think about it. If it wasn't for Dak Prescott, we would be talking about how the Cowboys are just this mess of an organization right now. And that's true. I don't want anyone to go in the comment section and be like, oh, you're just being a downer. No. You got to look at it plain and simple, is that you have a guy that's handling, that aspect of getting out the contracts, getting out, the paychecks and stuff like that. And it's just too much nonsense. And I don't want to ramble, but I think it's important for us to understand that the Cowboys need to stop this. We're going to go into free agency and get the right kind of guys, i.e. the bargain basement, Dollar General, value menu, those guys. Okay? And you can do that if you're trying to fill, like, hey, we need just some guys on the roster. Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying don't go. What I am trying to insinuate is they can't be gun shy about going after guys like a Dalvin Tomlinson, going after guys like a Patrick Peterson or Richard Sherman. They can't do that. Because if they do that, then you are just banking on hitting on every single draft pick, like I mentioned, and the odds are you're not going to get a Pro Bowl I'm not asking for, sure, that'd be awesome, but think about it. I personally think if you look at it, you have Tyrann Mathieu. I was wanting Tyrann Mathieu, and they're like, oh, well, he's not a scheme fit, and we don't want to pay him. Okay, fine. Look at him go over to KC and him have a freaking resurgence over there, right? And then you have guys like Byron Jones. Now, again, I'm not saying Byron Jones is all that. I think that personally, if you put a gun to my head and said if you rather would keep Jalen Smith or Byron Jones, I would have kept Byron Jones. And it's just at this point, I think we need, as Cowboys fans, to understand that this is the guy that will most likely be the owner of the Dallas Cowboys in the future. So what we thought was our next hope and our next saving grace is just our next nightmare. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do. So I don't want to go any further, but by all means, if you want to, leave in the comments down below how you feel about Stephen Jones. If you guys could, by all means, leave a like on this video. It doesn't take too long to do. Also, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hit the notification bell. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright, guys, have a good one.